This video is brought to you by John Robson Guitar Tuition. If you enjoy the content, please consider supporting the channel by enrolling on a course, purchasing some guitar lessons or a t-shirt, or you can join my Patreon. Now, on with the show. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now then, back in the early 90s, before we had the internet, well, most of us anyway, I was a voracious reader of the music press. I would get all of the guitar magazines, obviously, and I would also read one or two other publications, including Q magazine. Anyone still read that? And I remember one article from, I think it was late 93 or early 94, that got me so excited, I can't tell you. There were reports that hadn't been denied that Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker were reforming Cream, but without Eric Clapton, and in his place, Gary Moore was in the guitar playing role for this lineup. And of course it turned out to be true. They recorded one album, and only one album, under the moniker BBM, which stood for Baker, Bruce, Moore. What an album it is. If you're not familiar with it, it's called Around the Next Dream. The first track on the album is called Waiting in the Wings, and there are two guitar solos on that song, and this is one of them. So there you go, Gary Moore's solo, or one of them, from the BBM track Waiting in the Wings. Let's have a little bit of a look at what's going on in the solo.
Solo explanation.
Okay, as always, we'll begin by taking a look at what's going on underneath the solo. On the original recording, there's just bass and drums underneath Gary's solo. You really do get the feeling that it's just a power trio jamming in the studio, and there's that kind of eye contact thing going on, and they're all feeling the same sort of vibe of it. But to just beef up my humble effort at a backing track, I put some power chords on, which are being sort of hinted at by the Jack Bruce's bass line anyway. And it basically goes D5, F5, G5, and then there's a little riff, which takes us back to the D5 again. And we string that together like this. And then back to the beginning again. 3 times through that, and then we have basically a B flat and a C. To D power chords, just bringing us back around again. And that whole thing goes twice through, gives you 16 bars to play over. So what we're using here is the D minor pentatonic for the most part. There's nothing in the way of fancy chord note targeting or modal shenanigans going on. It's just good old-fashioned pentatonic blues rock. We do sneak in another note in a couple of places though, and we'll talk about that as we get to it. So let's just go through the licks. I'm referring to the tab that's on that screen over there, just so I can get it right for you people. So the first lick goes like this. So let me go through that again. Like that. Now what's significant about this is that we're getting, it's the first instance where we have this little 16th note or semi-quaver triplet kind of thing. That sort of thing there, which is, usually concludes on another note there like that. I get the strong feeling that Gary was putting a lot of those in as a little kind of tip of the hat to Eric, because that is quite a Clapton-y sort of thing to do. So let's go for that lick once again. Then in the next bar we have Probably the trickiest part of the whole solo, where we've got a 4 semitone string bend, so we've got to get this G note up here up to this B note up here, like that. And then we do a whole tone string bend on this F note here. Whoops. Like that, so you get like that, and then we get this sort of triplet run that takes us down into the next bar, which is, again, it's just D minor pentatonic. So that all of that together forms the next lick, which goes like that. And again, you can see he's just kind of coming down into, you can either think of that as the bottom end of this pentatonic run, like that, or you can think of it as, you know, being part of position 5 of the D minor pentatonic. Okay, the next bar is where we encounter the one of the extra notes. Well, there's one extra note that occurs a few times, and it happens in a lick that goes like this. There we go. Did you spot it? There's the extra note there. It's an E. Again, that kind of semi-quaver triplet sort of thing. Very Clapton. And then we get... Then there's another one of them there, coming for this lick. And again, that slide down to that E note there. The E is the 9th of D minor. D minor pentatonic is D, F, G, A, C. That's a 5-note or pentatonic scale. You could make the case to say that if you have D, E, F, G, A, C, that is the D hexatonic minor scale, but I just think of it as the D minor pentatonic with an added E note. Then after that, let's go for that again. We have another kind of triplet-y kind of thing. Do you spot that? That kind of, again, we're getting triplets. Da 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 da, like that, and then we have this sort of nested triplet here with that 16th note thing. Let me put it into context. There we go, like that, and then another 8th note triplet at the end. And that's the first half of the solo done. So I just need to scroll down the page over here. Next up we have a lick which includes something that I covered in my video a few weeks back now about my top 5 favourite Stevie Ray Vaughan isms. Really speaking, it's an Albert King thing. And, you know, Stevie got it from Albert King, and Gary had been playing with Albert King, you know, Still Got the Blues, what was it, Pretty Woman he did with that, and I know they kind of toured together, because I used to have the VHS of them playing live together. Anyway, the phenomenon I'm talking about is we've got a lick which starts like this. This sort of top end of D minor pentatonic pattern 2, and then we go on to this F note here and bend it up. We get a good bar and a half of you know, kind of mileage out of this bend. But what he's doing is he's doing that thing, as I mentioned, that Albert King thing that I mentioned in my Stevie Ray Vaughan video, where you bend that up, you bend that note up, and you kind of play it with an upstroke, and you deliberately clip the B string as well. So you get, instead of, you get that kind of wailing banshee sound. It's a great way of adding angst and tension to a bend, and he makes great use of it here. So after a little bit of that, a couple of those little blues curl bends that there, like that, just getting that sort of bluesy kind of feel going in. And then we've got probably the most intricate part of the solo. It was certainly the trickiest to work out, because he really is going to town on the wah pedal during this part here. So let me play it slowly. It goes after that we get There we go. That's you can see it's all, fairly straightforward minor pentatonic stuff. Let me do it again. So after this C to D bend here. Probably the trickiest part of that to play is when you're going from the 16th notes, so 4 notes per beat. Da 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 da, 1 E and 2 E and to the back end of that lick where you go into triplets, where so like that. A little bit of practice, you'll have it fine though, and you can see it's just all minor pentatonic shenanigans. And to be honest, if you're playing this solo, just go really kind of crazy with the wah pedal, and it covers a multitude of sins. So what we got next? Let me scroll down the page a little bit. We've got we're working towards the finale of the solo now. We've got that previous lick finishes on this F note here, and we get. Notice that kind of semi-quaver triplet thing in. Again, we're bringing that E note in, bending it up to the F. So, and then into the big finish of the solo. So, kind of coming up into like the top end of pentatonic position 3 in D minor. Let me just read the tab again. There we go, and then concluding on this big C to D bend up at the 20th fret on the top E string. Like that. That is what's going on in this rather fabulous Gary Moore solo from the BBM song Waiting in the Wings. First track on their only album. I was just listening to the album again the other day, and it really is good. If you're not familiar with it, go and check it out. So, now you know what's going on, go away and have some fun with it. And as always, there's a full tab for that solo in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it, the explanation you've just seen there, and a jam track for you to play along with for yourself. All of that is up on my Patreon page. There's the address, and the link is in the description. $3 or £2.50 a month gets you access to all of these additional resources that go along with these YouTube lessons. A massive heartfelt thank you to everyone who supports me in that or any of the other ways, all of which are also linked down there in the description. And that is it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video and found it useful and informative and hopefully entertaining in some small way. And if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not give me a like while you're at it? Don't forget, as always, the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer, we talk music, we talk guitars. What a great way to kick off the weekend. I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.